Okay, so here's the prototype control panel. It's just a mock-up. It's not going to be permanent. I just used some wood that I had laying around and purchased all of the controls from Ultimark, the RGB classic buttons, the mag sticks, the U-Trak trackball with the optional RGB kit, and also one of the SpinTrak spinners. It works really well, and thanks to Andy at Ultimark for helping me out with an issue with the player 1 button 1. This one right here was staying on, and I did not know this, that there is a config option to enable or disable the high power LED drivers, and you need to turn that off. Otherwise, the RGBs plugged into channels 1 through 3 on the Ultimate I/O board will stay illuminated. So that was a problem. Real simple fix. Thank you again, Andy. And let me see if I can do some of these other things. So, yeah. So here we have this will be used as a left flipper, but it's also a mouse button 1. This is player 1 coin, player 1 start. Didn't order enough buttons. This will be player 2 start, player 2 coin, and then of course mouse button 2 or right flipper. And we all know the player 1 buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and player 2 buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's working pretty good. We can take a peek inside. Hopefully this works out. So it's a lot of wiring, but it all fits in here. I did install the large Flyweight for the SpinTrak. It feels so precise, and it just gives it a real solid precision feeling when you're playing Tempest or any game that uses a spinner. So highly recommend that. Of course, I'm going to have to pull all of this apart when I do get the final boards. I am subbing out the work to do the control panels. I'm going to have those CNC'd just because I don't feel like manhandling 4x8 sheets of MDF wood, and I don't have a CNC machine. So a couple of these wires obviously haven't been loomed up yet because I don't have the buttons for them, and but that will be taken care of in the future. It works really well. The configuration software from Ultimark and the LED blinky stuff to actually create the animations and even map out. You can see here that it allows you to map out your control panel, where all the RGB lights are, and then you can do the animations. I'm still waiting for the code. I purchased the full version of LED Blinky, which you actually get for free, but certain features are unlocked or extremely limited. I think for the animations, if you don't purchase it, you only get 10 frames. So you're pretty limited, but you can try everything out, which is really great. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. The other thing that's really neat that I have to figure out how to do is to get the, as you select a game in MAME, the LED Blinky will actually use speech to announce the game name, and then it will display each button that is used in the game, light it up and tell you what it does. So that'll be very helpful, and that means that we'll be able to set up the buttons that are used for the selected game to come on, and all the other buttons will remain off, and that way it's really easy to see which buttons you use for the game you're playing, which was always a big headache when you have 5,000 games to pick from, to remember which controls do what. So that obstacle has been overcome, and I'm really looking forward to getting this all done. Now all I have to do is figure out how to make this removable, and it'll sit on the front of the pinball machine. So as you noticed, I've left all of this blank here. So one of my ideas was to flush mount some screw mounted magnets, round magnets, from the bottom, and those would adhere to those would kind of give it the initial holding power to the lockdown bar of the pinball machine. And then I was going to make these side panels go down, and perhaps have a metal bracket with a some kind of removable knob or something that could either tie to the pinball leg on each side, so you could remove this and take it off, because we want that pinball machine to look like a pinball machine, unless we decide we want to pull out the control panel and play some arcade games on it too. So got a couple of ideas on how we're going to mount it, and I'll definitely make all of that available to everyone. So Cray, I hope you like it. Everybody, talk to you soon.